So. Okay. So where do you put your hands? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Not too long ago, TV was the hot new thing. It was almost irresistible. Art museums were among the few who reacted with paranoia and trepidation. They did welcome TV, they did display it, exhibit it, but as you would an embarrassing younger sibling at a dinner party. So the art museums would insist on their sophistication and gravitas in contrast. Now it's 2018 and it's TV's turn to do the gravitas thing. Then again, that depends on how you define TV and its relationship to the web. Shifts in TV history have been hard to pinpoint in the heat of the moment. There was, in the 70s, for example, the invention of the portapack, which allowed artists to broadcast cheaply and on the go. And this turned out to be a dramatic watershed moment in TV history. Somewhat more recently, and maybe less dramatically, many of us will have noticed the arrival of shrinks and psychoanalysis on the TV scene. And this, someone said, was like inventing a whole new camera device because it allows for psychological detail without all those annoying off voices from nowhere. And it seems as if web TV has similar potential and possibilities. There's the browser aesthetic, there's the YouTube attention economy, but then there's also the possibility of dividing the labor anew, to revisit the division of labor between production and distribution, between theory and entertainment, between the archival and the speculative, and there might even be a possibility of revisiting television's space-binding possibilities, its ability to create a location within the here and the now. So although we should all tip our hats to the pioneers of the 70s, there's no need for memorialization. There's no need to cutesify, and there will be no retro recording devices or ironic screening room scenographies here. Instead, we should be pushy, loud, proactive, equal partners in conversation, giving to and taking from TV. The 18th of March 2018, which is today, marks the beginning of a whole new TV conglomerate. It consists of 3 web TV channels devised by the artist Christopher Roth, and it is an educational platform. It's an homage to artists who have been broadcasting over the decades, and it is also an artist commission. As such, it doubles as infrastructure as well, in turn. And it does so in order to try and answer bigger questions. For example, what would an art look like beyond contemporary art? One that is less breathless, less exhausted, less cynical than the one we know of today. What kind of structures would that need? Structures of support, structures of visualization, of distribution, production, research. What would they look like? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Web TV.
Okay, great. He also has a show.
So that was a real discovery for me to see TV shows from Italy where they discussed in a very funny and entertaining way topics like emancipation or ecology in a very fun way. Or if you look at British TV of the time and the famous TV series by John Berger on the iconography of everyday's life and of the political iconography of the pictures that surround us. That was an interesting and very successful attempt to democratize a very complex Marxist theory of the use of images and imagery. I think that only changed when public TV got under pressure by private TV stations, and in a moment when in a neoliberal society the focus shifted from entertainment and information and education to entertainment and consumerism. But of course it's important to save TV from that because in a more and more fragmented society, TV could become one of the most powerful and politically important collective rituals. So what we try to do in that new approach to TV is to rather emphasize the idea of vision in the word television, and that not in an optical or technical way, but to present ideas which are not there. When we look at the many very interesting things on YouTube or on other formats of TV now, it's often too much of a depiction of reality, a description of reality. Whereas it could be extremely interesting to create a TV format where you would present ideas, where you would talk about how society could look, how a societal change could be put into place and activated. And so this format basically is an attempt to accelerate knowledge, to distribute knowledge in a different way. And I'm particularly happy to present some ideas about architecture, because architecture, of course, is always about the question how life could look in the future and how it could differ from things we know today. And with that TV format, it will become much more easy for a good idea that was developed, let's say, by a student in Switzerland to be discussed in Bangalore, and a response from Bangalore could be discussed in Buenos Aires. So it's also about connecting different ideas and different approaches to what could be the future of architecture, of society. And so it's about accelerating things.
Basic scene, the John Berger thing, is on our channel running now in between.